and covering every foot of coastline in the world. That much is going in every year. And 6 out of 10 of the most commonly found items in the oceans are fully recyclable. So we need to start recycling more, and we need to recycle right to get these valuable materials back to the manufacturers to use and to keep them out of oceans and waterways. But let's face it, recycling's confusing. We have a solution, and it's working.
The standardized labels help people recycle more, and they help people recycle right. Let's recycle across America, and let's recycle right.
To learn more about this solution and how to recycle right to protect our oceans and waterways, visit letsrecycleright.org.
I'm Staff Sergeant Mark Anthony Madrid.
Staff Sergeant Samantha Cowell.
I'm Staff Sergeant Alex
Staff Sergeant William Lewis, and I am proud to defend my family and our nation.
The Air Force Reserve is part of the story of this great nation.
I'm grateful that I have a chance to wear the uniform of the heroes that went before me.
I'm proud to be part of a team that helps make a difference in the world.
Every day, men and women from communities across this nation serve as Reserve Citizen Airmen. Even as technology evolves and changes, our commitment to defend and protect this nation remains steadfast. We celebrate those who have served and those who are proudly serving. We celebrate our proud history and look towards an exciting and uniting future. Our mission is to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace.
And I am proud to be a member.
And I'm proud to serve in the United States.
And I am proud to protect our country.
Proud to serve in the U.S. Air Force Reserve.
Home for the defending world champion Atlanta Braves. Powered by Pepsi. WGSX Lynn Haven, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Let's go!
The Afternoon Underdogs are on the air.
How are you not freaking out right now?
Broadcasting from the Rib Crib Radio Room.
Good to the last drop flavor.
The Underdogs are here. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome into the Rib Crib Radio Room, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even somber. I don't even want to say sad. It's sad in some fashions.
It's a celebration of life.
Exactly.
We're having fun.
Okay, so maybe that right there, that opening hopefully gave you an idea of what the last 45 minutes to an hour have been like here in the Rib Crib Radio Room. I guess I'll just take this show sheet, and if anybody wants to read it, go ahead. But old school, why don't we?
It's kindling. Improvisation.
It is. So first things I want to start with is, Kyle, you've got a gift for old school.
I got old school, a little something.
So, Caveman, I need you to work your magic today with the cameras.
Hold on.
All right, so this is a great gift.
So this will be the first time you've seen it.
That's a big old package.
This is I know what the gift is, and this is something that was iconic in our trio and our quadruple, with Leanne and with Greg as well. But this is one of the greatest memories. Maybe not for, it is for old school because you've learned to love it. At first,
I was a little upset about it. I'll be honest with you. I was a little upset about it.
It's one of them words we can't use on the radio that was used in real life, but...
Yeah, it's kind of what... But
okay,
anyway.
enough. Let's see it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's see it.
The suspense is just too much. Oh, look at that. So for those in radio land right now, this is old school steaming a shirt. Kyle we were doing what? Beach care services, right?
Yeah, Kyle was asked to be what
so
were
the
you
rest of the class.
MC.
He was asked to be.
You're forgetting letters now?
Shirt. You were ironing Kyle's shirt then. Okay.
Yeah, so he shows up wearing an ESPN shirt that it had been wadded up over in the corner of his room for a week or two. And so I was like, dude, you can't go on the stage looking like that. And he's like, I got nothing else to wear. So
probably just like that, too.
It's pretty much the way it was. So we ran over to...
His impressions are getting swell.
They're getting very good.
So we ran over to Dollar Tree or whatever it was, and we came back with the wrinkle guard and sprayed it on there, and I was trying to get it to look decent. And then all of a sudden, I'm blow drying.
Yeah, you're blow drying it. That's what's so crazy.
Blow drying the shirt, trying to make get the heat and make this thing.
You went to the Dollar General over here,
doing everything Pam does for you.
We went over here to this Dollar General
not
right
everything.
next to the studio, and we got this like wrinkle spray for what, like $1.
Yeah.
And
it worked about as good as that.
it worked $1 worth.
Well, hey, it's better than zero.
So then Kyle takes a picture, a video of me doing that, and then puts it out on Facebook land, whatever, that I was his laundry.
Look, when you get asked to do a high-profile spot like that, you get a laundry person.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A laundry person.
A person. A female dog.
But we
a show prep person.
Kyle and I, Dave, everybody, we've had a lot of fun laughing about that moment.
I think it's called wardrobe.
When it was, when Kyle came in today and said he had a gift and he pulls out that picture, I thought that's perfect.
Yeah, that is a great way to do it. We also got your little card. We won't make you read that
let's
out.
not do that.
We're not going to have the same type of a departure that we had for Greg today. Or at least I don't think so, but who knows what's going to happen around 5:45. We get done running down the high school sports scores, and all of a sudden we are like
No, we're not going to do that.
the car wash on 23rd Street, and the waterworks just start flowing in.
Man.
But so, all right, another announcement. We're going to announce this again at 5 o'clock for the people who are just getting off work and getting into their vehicles. But a few years ago, you were an Atlanta Falcons fan.
That's correct.
Then Tom Brady comes down to Tampa. You're noticing how much fun he has in Tampa. So you're like, man, what if I just jump on that bandwagon?
Yeah, I mean, the Tom Brady ripped my heart out when the Atlanta Falcons made it to the Super Bowl, had a 28-3 lead, and they somehow managed to lose that game. And then they went on to just destroy the franchise over the next 3 or 4 years, and to the point where I decided I didn't want to be a fan anymore. So I gave up my fandom of the Atlanta Falcons. But today,
okay,
I have a major announcement to make that because I've been searching for a new team, and I went with the Tom Brady thing, but he's now retired. But now he's coming back, so I'm confused by it.
Well, you don't like it because it emulates what you've been doing.
That's exactly right.
You know, on the bandwagon, off the bandwagon. So
today I am officially accepting my fandom back.
Like the Falcons are going to give it to you.
I'm now a Falcons fan again.
You are one.
Careful.
Radio. My hand's not over there.
And the reason is because Arthur Blank came out and said, look, we really screwed this thing up.
Hashtag shooting blanks.
What a flip-flopper.
And so I said, you know what? If they're accepting it, they're willing to go through the pain, I'll take them back. And I'm moving back to the Atlanta area.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest
that's
reason.
Probably why.
I'm a little jealous of you moving up there, though, because you'll be, 25, 30 minutes away from Truist Park?
Correct.
How many games, over under 7 games you go to this year?
Oh, definitely over.
Oh, I'm really jealous about that.
I'm gonna go see a lot of Braves.
Well,
games.
the Jackhammers have moved into the building, folks. I don't know who is somebody else here.
We'll see in a couple minutes. We'll see.
Well, hey, it was nice knowing everybody.
it was fun. Oh, it's Alan Watson. What's going on? What's going on?
He was teeing off in the hallway.
Nice sigh of relief there. So what I want to do for your going away present, and I'm having to order this because it's going to be specially ordered, and I'm going to give you a choice here because G-Man gave me a good option here. I can either get you a Matt Ryan Colts jersey because that's y'all's former quarterback. He was, I don't even feel right saying this. Y'all's Tom Brady. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
but it doesn't. It doesn't make sense.
The most successful.
Yeah, y'all's franchise guy.
He's the most successful quarterback.
Successful, wouldn't he be?
Vic played in 0 Super Bowls. Next question.
One Super Bowl he got to, but overall
he didn't get to any
stat-wise,
Super Bowls.
Vic, I know, no. He's talking about Matt Ryan.
Oh, Matt Ryan got us to
I'm
one
thinking
Super Bowl.
Vic, I think overall was probably that team.
Vic
Steve
ever win
Bartkowski
MVP?
was really the most
Successful.
Brett
Okay.
Favre.
Brett Favre. There you go.
Guy was good.
All right, so what I want to do is give you the option of getting you a Matt Ryan Colts jersey, or what I really want to do is I want to get you an Atlanta Falcons jersey with a number 12 on it, and on the back of the jersey it's going to say Brady.
Oh, that's the kiss of death right there. Yeah, I'll take that.
That is, just get a patch on it that says R.I.P. because the moment you walk around Atlanta in that
No
thing,
doubt about that.
it's done. Actually, and then maybe I'll get a little subscript or another patch. Instead of it saying Nike, it'll just say 28-3.
Maybe the check can be the hyphen in between the score.
I love it. That's actually a really good idea. All right, so moving right along, we can get into Eric. What do y'all think about this? I almost want to go into the conversation we were talking about off the air and just bring the Oscars all the way back. But I think we'll go into Eric Church canceling his concert. What do you guys make of this? Maybe it would make more sense to me now if I was a concert goer, meaning if I had tickets to this, I would be a little ticked off. But there's no way that I'm buying tickets to any type of concert. I don't care if it's my favorite artist or not during the midst of the Final Four, and I'm not a fan of any of these teams. But regardless of that, he's canceling his concert to watch this North Carolina Duke game. He's a North Carolina fan, but do you guys know where Eric Church actually went to school at?
I do not. No.
Who's Eric Church?
Yes. All right. Let me turn this one down.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Country,
he actually
country music singer.
he went to App State, which is in North Carolina. But I'm just wondering, would it make more sense if he was an alumni of this to do it? How do you guys feel about him canceling the concert to go to a Final Four game that is pretty big?
Well, I mean, if that's his team and he's that, I mean, there are UNC fans are pretty passionate.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I can understand it.
How would you feel if you were the concert goer?
If I was I would want a refund.
You get a refund, automatic refund, because it's not postponed, it's canceled, so you're
care
good.
Then. It frees my
good
night
to go.
up. I can watch the game too then. I mean,
there you go. See, you made it easier for everyone.
Hey, Greg, UNC fans may be passionate, but they still don't show up to the stadium on time.
That was a good thing. What do you got on this, Kyle?
Yeah, I feel like, let's just hypothetically say not hypothetically. I'm going to a concert in August up in Atlanta. I have to travel for the concert. I bought a hotel. I bought tickets. I'm going to have to pay for gas, all this good stuff, right? And obviously this is too far away.
And the gas costs more than anything else.
The gas costs more than anything. No, but you make these plans to go to these concerts, so I think it's a little crappy. I do, because people probably. I mean, and Eric Church tickets are expensive, and I don't know where the concert was supposed to be, but hotels are not very cheap either. Some people maybe bought airfare just to go see them, and just to go see them in their old hometown. There's all kinds of different situations
and there's a lot of
this load management.
Yeah. He is resting. Load questionable.
Plenty of people go to watch games, like to see a LeBron the one time he's coming in town or something like that. Take their kids. He's not playing, or a Kawhi famously doing it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Load management.
Has he played this year?
Same kind of thing.
Who?
You
Kawhi.
buy tickets, you travel, you do whatever. The person you want to see isn't there. You kind of get screwed, if you will, and it just happens. It's a way of life
now you can get tickets to see.
Yeah, but you didn't. Yeah, but the difference is with all of those other people, they're athletes on a team. Eric Church is the team in this situation.
Yeah,
like, you paid to go see one guy.
What if you were going to see the opening act? Just saying.
Where's our crickets?
Still canceled. It's still canceled.
You gave him a microphone?
I don't get one.
Did we get a caller just now?
Yeah, we did. I was about to bring him on. I believe. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, boss. It's Ian Malone. How's everybody doing this afternoon?
Oh, Ian Malone.
Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ian, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. I was calling to wish you a happy bon voyage on your move to Georgia, and just let you know how much we're going to be missing you on the air, man. I've always enjoyed your takes on a lot of these issues. The old school thing notwithstanding, you bring a really great seasoned take to pretty much any issue you guys talk about. It's clear you've been watching all this stuff for a lot of years, and you bring a lot of great perspective to the show. So you're going to be missed, man.
Well, thank you, Ian. It was a pleasure getting to meet you, and I've enjoyed reading your book. And I know there's more coming, so I'll look forward to picking up some more of those books that you are putting out on a regular basis. But
I'm excited about this next one that you got coming out, too.
Yeah. So I appreciate it, and it's been fun to get to know you. When we first met, you were up there in Tobacco Road area, and now here you are. You're in the neighborhood. So
I was.
Are you going to be
back up? I was actually back up there for a book conference this past weekend, and my publisher is a University of North Carolina alum. So we got to watch the Elite Eight game in a sports bar together and take that in, and so. Naturally, he's stoked. On the Eric Church thing, man, I don't have a problem with the guy. I mean, he totally owned it in the statement that he put out.
Yeah, he said it was selfish.
I get it. This is the most selfish thing I've ever asked of my fans, but you guys, please just show me a little grace here. I want to go do this with my family in New Orleans. So, those people up there, man, they take their basketball serious. and he's a North Carolina boy from Granite Falls. He is born, bred, and raised Tar Heel Blue. I don't hold that against him. I'd probably feel a little different if I bought a ticket, but I'm a fan, and I'll stand by him. He's a Carolina guy. He wants to go see this, and heck, I'm not even a fan of either one of them, and I'm going to be dialed in on Saturday night to see how this ends. It's going to be crazy.
My wife had a good point. She just texted in. She said, did he not have any faith in his team? And he went ahead and scheduled a concert on the same night as. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, if he's that big of a basketball fan, don't schedule it.
Well, I think that it's. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I think it's bigger. It's a lot bigger than North Carolina being in the Final Four. It's the first time in the history of March Madness that Duke and North Carolina are
in
playing.
The tournament.
Yeah,
period.
exact. Period. Yeah. Forget where they're playing at. It's the first time ever. So in that sense, as sports nuts as we are, it's a lot harder for us to see the perspective of the people who know the country artist Eric Church and not the basketball fan. So I was curious about how people felt because he's not necessarily alumni of North Carolina, but I get the alumni thing, and maybe it doubles up the anticipation in your fandom, if you will, because you were a part of it. But I didn't go to Alabama, but I still.
Maybe he couldn't get in North Carolina. He had to go to Appalachian State.
That's a great point, too. I mean, that's a great point. Ian, real quick before we let you go. Abilene Christian, who beat. No, you didn't go to Abilene.
My father went.
Your father. They beat TCU in baseball last night, who was number 12. Anyways, Ian, who do you have out of North Carolina and Duke?
I'm going to go with Duke. It's Coach K's last ride. I mean, man, they made a huge to-do about it up in Raleigh-Durham whenever Carolina went into Cameron and beat him for his last game in Cameron Indoor. You know that's playing on the locker room board, the locker room board all week this week. I think Duke is going to be ready to roll. I think Carolina's season comes to an end on Saturday.
I love it. Hey, Ian, thanks so much for the call, man, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep, old school. Get my email address. Keep in touch, man, and travel safe.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks
for calling in.
Yeah, keep the calls rolling in. Calls or texts, no matter what you got for us, we will read them off. We'll let you on the air talk with Old School. We're going to take a quick time out, and we're going to cover one of Old School's favorite, most passionate things to talk about, the world of golf. Coming up, Alan Watson. Stick with us.
My forecast overnight, showers and thunderstorms, some locally severe, 65 for the low, and a south wind up to 40 miles per hour. The high surf advisory will continue into Thursday. Cloud showers and thunderstorms will continue, some locally severe, mid-70s on Thursday with those gusty winds, and then clearing Friday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Offord Tire and Service Center in Callaway. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your exclusive home for March Madness.
And it goes for the win!
We'll bring you every game live. It's the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament, college basketball's premier event, and it's all right here.
And the dream is alive!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The dream, yes!
At Slim Chickens, craft means something. Craft means bacon. And oh, so crispy. Craft means a good cayenne kick. And all-natural buttermilk marinated, made fresh, perfectly fried chicken. All served on toasted brioche buns. At Slim Chickens, craft means quality. And for a limited time, try our new Memphis-style barbecue chicken sandwich. Try Slim's Craft sandwiches today. Slim Chickens.
Dairyland is your land. It's car insurance that keeps you on the road so that you can make it to work on time. Its payment plans are flexible for when life gets complicated. It's affordable coverage to help you get back on the road again, even if you've taken a break. Because Dairyland is auto insurance that's customized to fit your life. Dairyland is your land.
Less than perfect driving record. We've got you covered. Call Ellis Agency Insurance, servicing the Panhandle since 2009. Call 850-763-1627.
Are you concerned about safety when you travel? Emerald Coast Amsel specializes in self-protection. They offer a full line of safety products like men's and women's RFID wallets and concealed carry for purses, lifetime incidental replacement plan, and manufacturer's warranty on most items. Give the gift of self-protection and contact Michelle and Rick today, 850-358-2810, or visit their website at emeraldcoastdamsel.com. Emerald Coast Damsel, independent damsel pro for damsel and defense.
Live from the Rib Crib studio. The mission.
Your mission, should you decide to accept it.
Save the panhandle from boring cookie cutter radio. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
The state will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Just listen to those claps, man. Listen to the rhythm my man's got.
I will not miss that, I promise you.
White men can't jump. Greg can't clap.
Sir claps a lot. That's what we refer to him as. Sir claps a lot.
I heard Greg goes to church a lot, but it's just because after the time he goes, you know, they don't invite him back because he always messes the band up because he's always clapping on the and instead of the one. They're like, man, go down the street.
Go down the street. We've got Alan Watson in the building with us. He's the owner of Golf Plus out there at the shops at Edgewater. What's going on, Alan?
Oh, man, just left my soon-to-be home in Lynn Haven. Just did the walkthrough. We're closing tomorrow, so I'm going to become a resident of this area. Yeah. So I'm excited. My wife and I just have worked really hard for years and years and years to be in this position, and so we're finally moving down here and, of course, keeping the store in Dothan and keeping my home there, too, so I can go back and forth. But this will be primarily where I'm at, and it already has been primarily where I'm at. So, yeah, excited to be a part of this community. You know, pay more taxes, you know, lots of fun stuff.
You could always just Lionel Messi it, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah, it gives me a good excuse to be in studio every Wednesday since I would be right around the corner from the house, you know what I mean? So
that is...
No more phone calls, hopefully.
That is great, because then we'll just put Old School on the phone with us while he's up there in Cartersville, Georgia, and we'll just have a good old...
Yeah. So they finally found you a spot in the home?
Yeah, they did, and the bus runs on, you know, at least 3 times a week. So I'll be going to the grocery store, to the doctor, and all that. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I would have just fed you the pudding if you wanted me to. We didn't have to get you extra special care. You know what I mean?
Well, make sure that, you know, just make sure it's all parade.
Yeah. Okay. You got it.
Before we get into what everybody in the world is talking about, in the golf world,
sure.
What do we have going on at Golf Plus right now?
Yeah, so we've been doing a lot of fitting, a lot of repairs. It's been, you know, it's not the busiest we've ever been, but it is really ramping up with the season coming. We've had a ton of folks down here, Canadians and otherwise, a lot of spring breakers as well. So good, well-mannered spring breakers. And so everything's been just rocking and rolling with golf. Everybody's getting ready for the season, so a lot of people wanting to buy and update their bags. And yeah, I mean, like, I don't even have time to be here right now. I need to be in the build shop, but we'll go back up there tonight. We'll get it done.
There we go. What did you think of the WGC tournament and how that all played out in the win by Scotty Scheffler?
Yeah, I mean, Scheffler he's obviously on a roll right now. It's really kind of hard to fathom in golf when you're talking about an individual sport. I know we kind of always talk about that since that's what we talk about when I'm here, but unlike so many sports where you have a team to carry you or where you could be injured and ride the pine and still have somebody help you win, in golf, if you can't show up and you can't perform, then you can't win. And Scotty Scheffler's been showing up, performing, and winning for the last several weeks. And, you know, it's really one of the most impressive runs I've seen in a long time by anybody to win at this clip. I mean, and whether it'll continue or not, who knows? Who cares for him? He's made a lifetime's worth of money just in the last, 2 months, you know? So I'm impressed. The guy's for real.
Now the elephant, not the elephant in the room, the tiger in the room. Do you think that Tiger Woods will be playing in the Masters?
At this point, I'd have to lean towards yes. You know, since nobody's categorically denied it and said he's not playing, since we know he's there practicing, we know Joey LaCava's there, his caddy, we know that he hasn't competed much or played much lately, but there's also been no indicators that he's, going backwards in terms of his physical health. So I think he's going to play. I don't know that he'll be super competitive, but he could have just been kind of hiding in the weeds for all this time, waiting rather than show everybody kind of where he was at. And he also might have been just trying to take as much time as he could to completely heal and only practice as much as he needed to. But I'm gonna go 65% yes.
Give me a percentage on what you think.
I think that there's a 20% chance that he plays.
Okay.
I think he will go there. He's going to play. I mean, traditionally, he makes his announcement of whether or not he's going to play in the event the Friday out. So this Friday would be the normal time that he would announce that he's actually playing or not. So I think he's going to come in. He's going to do the practice round. He's going to play. He's going to see how his leg feels. Having been there, you've been there. You know how hilly the golf course is. This is not like walking Medalist or anything in Florida. This is up and down and very hitting off balls off of very uneven lies. This is going to be a challenge for him physically. If he feels like his body is up to it, I think he'll play. But if he doesn't think that his body is up to it, I think he'll go to the Champions Dinner. He may even play in the par 3 with Charlie,
which he's never really done.
And he's never really done.
I mean, that's
before.
not his thing.
There was one year where he played in it, but that's not a normal thing. So
he's only done it one time.
That I'm aware of.
I didn't even remember that. But I'll tell you what, if he has like a press conference on Friday to announce it, call me back right after that, and I'll update my percentage on whether I think he's going to play.
I like that.
But I mean, Tiger has publicly stated that he's not going to just be a show pony.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't feel like it that he can win, that he's not going to play. He doesn't want to take away from it. For a rating standpoint, it would be huge. For him to be able to come back in such a period of time, it's amazing that he's able to do it at all. And it's a testament to his dedication and his will to overcome. But I just don't see it's really possible.
Yeah, I mean, he's 2 years older, at least 1 year older, maybe 2 years older than Nicklaus was when Nicklaus won in '83. I think he was like 46 at the time or something like that, which was old at the time to be winning a major and to be playing golf like that. So
second oldest guy ever.
Tiger's older than that now and has had way more injury issues than Nicklaus ever had. So you're right. I mean, can I be competitive? That's the decision. It's not do I play, because if I'm playing, it's because I think I'm competitive, and if I'm not, it's because I think I'm not. Right? There's the two things are kind of mutually exclusive, and if he doesn't feel like he's going to give it that, I mean, it's kind of not to tie into other things, but it's sort of that Tom Brady thing of like, all right, I'm going to retire. Okay, wait, I'm not. Well, that was his competitive juices, in my opinion, that said, you know what? Yeah, my body's older. Yeah, whatever. But I'm only 1 year removed from winning a Super Bowl. It's not like it was 10 years ago, right?
And so, he had statistically his best season.
Right. So Tiger is looking at that and going, yeah, I only won the Masters like 2-3 years ago. But that was before the wreck.
Right.
And so I just don't know that he wants to put himself through it. And you're absolutely right about the course. The course is extremely hilly. It's one of the longer walks on tour. And unless and again, we don't know what he's been doing. I mean, this guy could be in as good a shape as he could be in for his age and for his condition. But still, that's a tough one. And so, and they're not going to give him a cart, and he wouldn't ask for it and wouldn't want it anyway.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't do it. So,
What's on the menu? Do we know what's on the menu for Matsuyama's Champions Dinner?
I have not seen the menu yet. Obviously, it'll be interesting, and I'm sure it'll be
a little different than normal.
Japanese flair.
Yeah.
He is from Japan. But I mean, it won't be cheeseburger and fries like Tiger's first one was.
Right. Well, I think that would be, I think it should be regional flair, right?
Yeah.
It should be whatever. That's what's cool. It should be whatever you want and whatever represents you, and especially since this would be the first time that I think it's got to be the first person to win from the Far East, right? Yeah. So correct. I mean, so that would be a lot of fun, So
what would you have for your Champions Dinner?
Oh boy. Well, I grew up in South Alabama, so I would have probably like fried chicken and mashed potatoes and collard greens and maybe some fried pork chops and maybe some Yeah, it'd be home cooking. It would look like it would be a buffet, and they'd be mad. they'd be like, they'd be mad. They'd be like, why are you not setting this in front of me? I'd be like, get up and go over there to those troughs and scoop out all you want. And they'd be like, what is this little glass bottle with green stuff? And I'd be like, that's pepper sauce for your collards. And they'd be like, we don't know what that is.
What's a collard?
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I grew up in the deep South. So, yeah, I wouldn't know. I mean, like lasagna is foreign food to me. So, I don't know.
And whoever it is that has to pick the wine to try to go with your meal, that would be tough.
Oh, that'd be terrible. It'd be like Boone's Farm or something.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, it'd be bad.
Oh, man. So the tournament this week's Valero, right?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
All right.
It's the one that Jordan Spieth came back and won last year. It was his first time to win in a number of years. So.
Yeah, and usually he falters towards the end, not comes back. So that was weird. But yeah, this is Texas. This is the lead up to the Masters. Sometimes guys skip it to get ready. Sometimes guys use it as a momentum builder. It's usually a pretty good field, though, and I think we've got a lot of guys playing some good golf right now. I think it's kind of a shame that DeChambeau's still not, healthy, because he's kind of that dark horse, but also sometimes kind of a favorite guy. And then, but you've got so many guys. You got Scheffler. I assume he's going to skip this week. I don't know if he wants to ride that momentum out or not. But I'm still looking for guys like Colin Morikawa. I know I always bring his name up, but for the last year or two, he's been hot. I'm looking for him to kind of get hot again. I'm looking for Xander Schauffele to get hot again. These young guns, the young guns have owned the tour for the last few years, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So, and I'm going to carry that, even though I know we're not talking about Masters yet, but I'm going to carry that on to the next week and as well, and say that whoever wins the Masters will be under 28 years old. So.
If Tiger were to play, where would he have to finish at for? And I know he's got multiple wins, but if he were to finish top 5, could you make the case for it to be his best Masters ever because of the condition and the chances that you're giving him 20% chance to play? He finishes top 5.
It'll be the single greatest performance
in golf history Tiger's history.
In golf history.
Do you agree with that, Alan?
Top 5, I don't know if I'd say greatest for him, but I would say the cool thing about it would be it would make people have to stand up and realize, like, this guy is great even when he's not great.
Yeah. Because
when I was there in 19 when he won on Sunday, I was like, the place was just insane. It was so surreal because everybody thought it was like half of you thought he's done, and then half of you was like, but he's the greatest, so he could, if anybody can, he can, and he did it. So yeah, if he came back again and got anywhere in the top 10 even, I think the whole golf world would just go nuts.
It would.
Because they would be like, all right, well, he didn't win, but the fact that he was even there, and like relevant would be huge.
The thing is, you got to understand, he's not played in over a year because of the accident. So he's not in it. His game cannot possibly be in any kind of shape.
That's why I posed the question like that.
There's just no way.
Yeah, I know it's the Masters, but if he's in the top 10 on the final day, that's going to be a huge rating.
Oh, the ratings will be ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
It'll be. I don't know if y'all saw when he won the Tour Championship. It was his first win back. The crowd on the last hole, they kind of did what happened with Phil, where they broke through security. Charged all down there, and I'm thinking that could very well happen again at the Masters.
Oh man, and that would not be good because he's less mobile than he's ever been.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
It would be bad. I just think we all are to be just thrilled that the man is able to walk and to play golf.
Yes, sir.
Let's just let it be that.
We're thrilled you can walk, old school.
We'll be talking to Alan again next Wednesday with us at 4:15, and we'll be diving a little deeper into the Masters as well. Y'all go check out Golf Plus shops at Edgewater. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mike Greenberg. Greeny. There's no event I love more than Sunday at the Masters. I have said this before, and I have been ridiculed for it, and I don't give a damn. If you told me I could only watch one day of sports the whole year, if you said, Greeny, we are taking your television away for 364 days, and you get to choose the one day you get to keep it, I would pick Sunday at the Masters.
Weekday afternoons from 2 till 4, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs. Or come see us on Commercial Drive off Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
I'm Matt Glover with Aero Pest Service, and we are your family-owned and operated pest control company in Bay County since 1977. Now's the time to have us supply our long-lasting custom blend fertilizer that is guaranteed to be the answer your lawn needs in order to stay green and beautiful all summer long. Give us a call today at Aero Pest Service, 850-874-1900. 850-874-1900.
What's up, everybody? David Pollock here with Barbaritos. Did you know that Barbaritos has 35 farm fresh ingredients? That means you have over 3,000 entree combinations that you can put on your plate. Luckily, Barbaritos put together their 9 under 500 calorie menu, which features 9 different entrees that you can feel great about eating. Try the ground turkey salad with double protein, the mini chicken burrito, or my personal favorite Friday meal, fish tacos with guacamole. It's a winning play with Barbaritos.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida are proud members of the Panama City Beach Chamber. We'd like to welcome the newest members to the Beach Chamber.
American Charlie Grill and Tavern, eXp Realty, Susan West, Empowerment Cafe, FloridaRentals.com, and Coach Cammy, LLC.
Congratulations from the area's only sports radio station, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Live from the Rib Crib Studio. Doing what other stations can't. The Afternoon Underdogs is live and local. 850-215-6290.
Always be sure to listen for the dial tone.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are inside the Rib Crib Radio Room, and you are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm David Hayes, along with, listen to this, y'all, Greg Calvert, Kyle Wright, Old School, Kane Maverick, Chef Ross.
What? All the celebrities in Panama City
are here. Greg, what you want to talk about, man? Baseball, wrestling?
I was just gonna, I just wanted to, Old School, it's his last day, and I know you asked me to come in here today and kind of talk about some things. Hold on, I'm pulling up my notes here. Okay?
Boy, you know how those notes work.
Hey, will you mute my mic for a second because Alan Watson is like 4'9".
So anyway, Old School, I thought about it a long time, and I didn't know what to come up with. So
is this like Dan Patrick show? We're about to have a limerick or something?
I thought, you know what? Maybe we should go in and talk about all the funny things that Old School's ever said. Couldn't remember any. So then I thought about maybe we go in there and talk about his knowledge of sports and everything he knows about sports, and just wasn't enough content to really tie up any time there. So then my last thing was, let's go in. I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk about the dumbest things he's ever said. And then I thought to myself, it's only a 2-hour show. So, but it has been. It was a lot of fun. I don't even know how many months I was on the show, but it was quite a while, and we had a lot of fun. And it was Kyle before, and I was calling in all the time, and a guest coming in as
then
a
you
guest.
had your family from Indiana calling in, talking about the 80s and stuff.
Not just family, but
friends
and
great
family.
Great guests that you brought on too. But this isn't about you, Greg. This is about Old School.
No, and that's what my wife told me before I left. She said, make sure it's not about you and it's about Old School. But I enjoyed every minute of it, and you were a big part of that reason. And you and I will be friends.
Yes.
I know a lot of people out there think that we're not friends, but we have been friends, and we will be friends for a long time to come.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's cool, because now that you'll be with us, but, not with us every single day, and it is
in spirit.
Do you have Wi-Fi? Do you have?
Hold on. What I was getting at though is that He doesn't even know. He hasn't been there yet.
3G, Greg.
That reminds me, Leanne told me to she told me to tell you that she walked halfway up or halfway down a mountain or something to be able to text you and let you know that she's going to miss you. And
Well, that was nice of her.
I wouldn't do that, just so you know.
It would take you a long time to walk up or down a mountain.
Up or down a mountain just to text you, buddy. All right?
But no, what I was
down quicker, start rolling.
what I was going to bring up, though, is it was really cool, the relationship that you guys had, because it was very brotherly. You know what I mean? You guys were so much like brothers. The times that you guys hung out outside of work, how many times listeners would run into y'all being together and be like, why in the world are they sitting at the same table? What's going on?
Are you guys friends? Well, I don't know how. We've heard a couple times.
As you can tell. So I always thought that was really cool. And then I wanted to touch on another thing. I know we're not really talking sports right here at this juncture, but we'll get back to it, I promise. But something Ian said and how you would always, bring just such a great perspective, on-base perspective. And that's something that, it's just something that, especially me, right? I'm only 31 years old. I haven't experienced a tenth or a half of what of what you heard. I haven't experienced nowhere. So to have your takes on the GOAT of GOATs and stuff like that, and be able to break up the difference in our generations, but at the same time show the similarities and stuff, that's been a really cool thing for me. And I mean, we've become great friends. I look up to you. You're a mentor to me. So very appreciative of the time that we spent. Now, Greg, do you have anything else that's actually sports related, or are you just trying to cry?
No, I'm not trying to cry. I just wanted to share with that.
I love it.
I was trying to think of things that we could talk about. And
I got us. WrestleMania's this week.
I got us.
It sounded like you were just trying to roast them or something.
Kyle, we're supposed to talk about sports, not WrestleMania.
Exactly. Not Oscars were last. Yeah, the Oscars were last weekend.
They were last week. We're not.
We don't want to talk about the Stuntman Olympics.
But Mike Tyson is hosting the Oscars next year, just so you know.
I don't think that is.
I don't know.
Okay, everyone, welcome to the Oscars this year. Better watch out. I might get beat up.
Super happy to be here.
What do y'all think about this Buffalo Bills here getting a new $1.4 billion stadium, and New York State and Erie County are going to be providing $850 million of that within public funding? And from what I've come across, that's the most, the highest.
Is it an indoor stadium?
And it's not going to be indoor.
That's
from what I'm
ridiculous.
Hey,
yeah, but
it's about time. They've needed a place forever. That place was a dump. It's about time.
I disagree with you, Greg. I think that is Buffalo.
We'll never get another swirling kick game ever without that.
Well, I'm saying that would be like Lambeau getting an indoor stadium.
Yeah.
Like it is the AFC's
Is
version
every
of
sport
Lambeau.
going to be in a dome now? Whether it's south, north, east, west. I mean, you got to play outside.
Now to say, like, if it was baseball, I'd say everybody needs to start building domes.
Really?
Yeah. I got different opinions on that.
If they're going to do anything, make all the fields the same.
Or just four inning triple headers. That's what I want in baseball.
Gosh. 4 inning triple headers. What the heck?
You get one pitcher, start 2 games.
Wait, hold on. Let's revisit that though. Let's stick with that in baseball and domes. Why would you like to see every team? And then we'll try to unpack that one.
To figure out what
yeah, that's the best part about baseball is the uniqueness of the stadiums. But anyways, domes.
Honestly, there's so many rainouts every year in baseball. Baseball is not a very fun sport to play outdoors when it's cold.
But when it's raining, it's.
Well,
think about it. You remember that tournament that we had at Oakland Terrace? It was for the fire department. Scott Daly put it on or whatever, and it was raining. I think it benefited also maybe Bay High's baseball team or something, and it was raining bad. We eventually had to call it, but for a while there,
I remember that. We were on the same team.
We were on the same team. That's right.
It's terrible.
That was fun.
It was fun, but not.
That was one of the best showers I ever had in my life after that.
No doubt. I don't remember any of the game though. You know what I mean? That's where I'm going with that. Like I remember none of the game. I just remember we were jumping in the mud after we finally lost and got eliminated.
Were we drinking that much?
Huh?
Were we drinking that much?
No,
I'm just joking. I'm joking. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Like the game was not memorable. It was the activities that we were, like sliding in the mud and people bringing their kids out onto the field. And but I thought that was enjoyable.
I mean, it's just not. It's not baseball though.
Yeah.
So
it's not. It's softball.
You cut down the. You cut down the number of doubleheaders, and then this whole stupid debate's down or gone. I just think it, maybe something to look at.
Okay, now over to this side.
Yeah.
Every field should be the same dimensions.
Yeah. I mean, it skews the numbers. I mean, okay, imagine if in football, say, at Lincoln Financial Field where the Eagles play, to score a touchdown, you have to go 107 yards. But if you go to, say, Gillette Stadium, it's only 97 yards or 96 yards, and it's shorter. It skews numbers,
That's fair.
So, like, how is it any different in a sport? Would it be different, like, in a basketball court? You go and play at the Wells Fargo Center where the Sixers play, and the hoop's 10 foot. But then you go in Chicago, and it's 10 foot 4 inches.
But that's
now,
baseball.
certain people aren't going to be able to dunk, and get up there maybe because it's a 4-inch difference.
What is the new Yankee
The
Stadium
least, the person who likes baseball the least in here is right.
When I think about baseball, I think of like in Boston, the big green wall.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. Baseball's a little bit different than football because football fields are 100 yards long. It's all the same. But, I mean, I understand where you're going with that. But, I mean, it's like baseball's wholly different. Yeah, the point's good.
But all the important metrics in baseball are the same. The mound is 60 feet 6 inches. It's 90 foot per the.
But to hit a home
It's
run,
90
it's further
foot
distance to hit a home
per
run,
base.
and shorter in other ones.
88 feet, as we're finding
What
out,
is
actually not 90.
what is Yankee Stadium, like 100 feet to the fence?
It's basically, I mean, Old School had a great idea yesterday. Just set it up on a tee.
Yeah. Let's just go play T-ball every day. We don't have to worry about the umpires. We don't have to worry about whether or not that we're going to go robo umpires or we're going to go regular umpires.
What is this station going to do without him crying?
I know.
What am I going to do without his rants, man?
It's going to save Randy a lot of money buying tissues. No doubt about it.
Happy and sad.
I mean, it's just silliness. It's a baseball game. These are the rules of the game. Live with it. If you don't like it, move on. It's like changing
The size of the bases, perhaps, or or like eliminating the switch.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's all of these changes just for the sake of changes. Here's the part.
Just for the sake of changes,
Here's
like
the part that
just to do it, we're gonna do it.
Here's the part that just sends me through the roof. Right? They say they want to. That the reason why they want to make changes to baseball is because the games last too long. Right? So why do the games last too long? Because they're scoring runs. So what are we going to do? We're going to shorten the base paths. We're going to make it easier for you to be safe. We're going to make it easier for you to steal bases. We're going to make it easier for you to score runs. So therefore, the game is going to be longer. So you're making changes to do things that are not even going to.
Do we have any medical staff listening?
This is your last show.
I'm feeling an aneurysm coming on.
We do not have an ambulance outside, so calm down. Okay?
We do got a jackhammer out there, though.
Could expedite the process.
All right, clear.
Oh man, that's a defibrillator.
It's silliness to be changing the rules, and the rules changes are making the game what you're complaining about. It doesn't make any sense. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, I never do.
Do we have a translator? Greg, could you translate old to young for us? I'm just kidding. Hey, let's take a quick time out, man. You guys are listening to the Afternoon Underdogs. It's Old School's last show, but we still got one more Defend Your Stance. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
My forecast overnight, showers and thunderstorms, some locally severe, 65 for the low, and a south wind up to 40 miles per hour. The high surf advisory will continue into Thursday. Cloud showers and thunderstorms will continue, some locally severe, mid-70s on Thursday with those gusty winds, and then clearing Friday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive home for the Final Four. Catch all the excitement of college basketball's premier event right here.
And the dream is alive!
Final Four coverage begins Saturday at 3:30. Sponsored by Bill Bird Kia, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Ellis Agency Insurance, Panama City Toyota, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Let your spring adventure begin at Bill Byrne Kia. Stop by today to discover why everyone is talking about the award-winning Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a 2022 Kia Forte, K5, Soul, or Sorrento. Bill Byrne Kia is not only the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, they're the home of the best customer experience anywhere. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillByrdKia.com. We make buying a car easy, and you'll enjoy the way we do business.
Offer from KMF for the purchase of a new 2022 Forte, K5, Soul, and Sorrento with $21.65 per month per 1,000 financed in 48 months. Qualities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Byrne Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 4/4/22.
Have you been to Jin Jin Super King Buffet? It's not your average Jin Jin. Well, here's what you're missing. Jin Jin Super King Buffet has competitive pricing, a great selection, extensive buffet options perfect for family dining. Menu options also include top quality seafood, hibachi and sushi bar, or select their mouth-watering crab legs by order. Bring the family out to Jin Jin Super King Buffet, located next to Wonderworks at 9802 Front Beach Road on Panama City Beach.
Damsel in Defense presents Defend Your Stance. Got an opinion? Time to defend it. It's the Afternoon Underdogs on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Defend Your Stance is brought to you by Damsel. No. It was close, though. Defend Your Stance brought to you by Emerald Coast Damsel. What the sigh of relief we're all hearing right now. What in the world's going on? Defend Your Stance brought to you by Emerald Coast Damsel, Independent Damsel Pro for Damsel in Defense. Caveman Rick, what's coming up next for us?
Yo, we're in Fort Walton Beach this weekend. Come out and see us. Saturday and Sunday, Fort Walton Beach Fairgrounds. Like I said, always Damsel Defense. If you don't got our stuff, we pity the fools who don't have our tools.
All right, let's get into it. Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson? We'll start. Man, it's crazy. Russell Wilson, he's a great quarterback, but let's not forget that the Seattle Seahawks last year were 7-10. The Denver Broncos were identically 7-10. So for me, the Broncos will be better than what they were last year because their defense is better, right? The receiving core might be a little bit equal, but I think that there's a pretty high ceiling if Deshaun Watson plays. Let's just take this hypothetical all the way to 2023 and let's unload it then. But I would rather have personality out the window, because we don't know what's going to come of these 22 allegations that he's dealing with right now. But as far as the quarterback on the field, I think that I would rather have Deshaun Watson. Greg, let's go with you, and then we'll end off here with Chef Ross.
I disagree with that. I'm not talking about physical talent, but 22 allegations.
That's why I said
this guy he's got problems. I mean, you don't get 22 allegations against you where there's smoke, there's fire, I guess is the best way to put it. And I don't agree with, I've got 2 daughters and a wife, and I don't agree with all that stuff. So, I mean, I'm not a big Deshaun Watson fan, even where he's playing. I don't care where he's playing.
The only thing I do want to say is
I'm glad the Colts didn't get him, to be honest with you.
Well,
I'm very glad.
Yeah, y'all weren't in the running. They were like, no.
because we have morals.
No, because y'all went after him. Y'all went after him, and the Texans were like, no, we're not going to trade him within the division.
Got lots of morals.
He's too young and healthy to be a Colts quarterback.
No, but let's keep it rolling around the bend.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go Russell Wilson here. He's not the most successful quarterback in his first 10 years in NFL history for no reason. Let's take away the fact that we'll just take away that bad Super Bowl moment.
No reason?
He's not for no reason.
No reason. So the Legion of Boom has nothing to do with it.
Who's the greatest quarterback of all time?
The fact that might have been one of the top 2 defenses in the history
and
of
he had
still getting offensive players of the year, though.
You can do that with any quarterback's Super Bowl win ever. Ever. 100%. You can. Look, you could go through all 7 of Tom Brady's Super Bowl rings and do something like that for every single one of them.
Well, we're not talking about everybody.
I know. I'm just saying.
We're talking about Russell Wilson.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you that Russell Wilson he has a different maturity that he brings on the field. He's super mature off the field. I'm not done yet, sir. No, this is about you today, but not my time, my window, my bubble. I mean, that's it. That's all I got to say.
Your bubble burst.
Caveman, what you got? I'm just kidding.
Now let's go with old school. What you got, old school?
That was the point.
That was the joke.
That's not the joke. This is all about him. I want to hear what he's got to say.
What's the question?
Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson?
What are we talking about today?
Not just. I've never been a Deshaun Watson fan except for the night when Clemson and he was playing Alabama. Other than that,
that was fun. Oh,
but I think I'm not a Deshaun Watson guy. I am a Russell Wilson guy. I think that Russell Wilson has probably some of the greatest attributes of being a leader, which is what quarterbacks should have. I think that he has been the beneficiary of one of the greatest compilation of defensive talent. But it's still, he's a really good quarterback. And
he'd have 2 Super Bowls if they didn't rely on his arm.
That's correct. But
that's a joke. That's a joke.
So therefore, I
can't argue with that one.
Therefore, I'm going to say Russell Wilson.
All right. Well, for me, I'll say Deshaun Watson definitely has more talent than Russell Wilson. Okay, even though he does have some issues. Smaller sample size, definitely. Obviously, he hasn't been in the league nowhere near as long. Russell Wilson, company man, yes man, I'll say. That's what he is. He's always rah-rah for the team, says the right things at the interviews. Not necessarily does the right things. I mean, he did kind of force his way out of there, getting on Dan Patrick last year and just talking about, needing more weapons and things like that. So he did force his hand out of Seattle, regardless of what anybody wants to say or think about that. But looking at both of these teams and the way they're built right now, I think Russell Wilson's probably going to have more success in Denver than Deshaun Watson's going to have in Cleveland, and that's even if he gets to play.
Hands down this year, it's Russ in Denver. But if you're looking long-term, Deshaun Watson is more athletic, a lot younger, a lot fewer hits on his body than Russ took in Seattle.
He'll make a great quarterback in the longest yard.
Give me long-term.
That part of it's over.
Give me long-term, it's Deshaun. Especially if we are ignoring the 22 allegations and the suspension he's facing this year. But if I'm a GM, I would take Deshaun over Russ just on field performance.
Yeah, you definitely, we can't be adding this question can't be brought up with what's going on, you know, and you have to kind of push it to 2023. Now, to answer that, though, my thing is, if he settles with one, regardless of the other 22, he's in the wrong. If he settles with one.
Absolutely.
Until then, though, we still have to he beat both didn't beat it. He didn't beat it. He wasn't indicted criminally, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's just
when you have enough money.
No, come on, man. No.
Yeah, they can indict a ham sandwich. That's the joke if the DA wants, to actually indict somebody or something. So if they got enough dirt on you.
So Aaron Hernandez was broke when he got indicted and convicted?
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up.
No, I know that but it is a sensitive subject, right, to a lot of people just because of what it entails. But if he's innocent, and if we still believe in innocent until proven guilty, I know a lot of the times people kind of throw that out of the window, especially when it's a touchy subject.
It's not 2022, though, bro. It's not.
No, you're 100% right. But it hasn't been that way for a while. But in the legal sense of it, that's what it's supposed to be. But it hasn't been that way for a while. I just wanted to answer. So what I'm getting at is I get where you're coming from, but we'll see how it all unfolds.
Here's a question for another show.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does it matter as far as a really good quarterback, like when Russell Wilson was his best? He had an excellent running game.
Yes.
I think to be an excellent quarterback, you have to have an excellent running game.
Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt.
Unless you're Carson Wentz.
Yikes.
To be fair, Jonathan Taylor didn't get off the bus.
I'm glad this is your last day. I'm telling you.
All right, real quick. Lately, we've been going to our legal ID. I've been getting out of this to get us back into 5, but I want to go ahead, and we've only got 3 minutes here, and if y'all want to do one more segment, we can absolutely make it happen. But Kyle.
Yeah, I got to go. So I want to just say on the air, obviously, I don't know how many people do know this, but the reason you're called Old School was the very first day I came in here, we found out, hey, what's your name? Kyle. So I looked at him, and I was like, that's not going to work. You're Kyle number 2. On my first day.
Yep.
First day.
Right.
Being cocky, arrogant. I was really nervous. First day on the job.
Yeah.
I mean, for some reason, we felt there was an immediate connection here. We knew. So we started to sit in here with Opie and Leanne and playing out the show, and you would throw me ideas, and eventually I was like, dude, just get over here.
Wow, he would throw you ideas.
Yeah,
that
it was
is
really
concept.
Dude, I know. I got the best of him.
Yeah.
You don't remember when Old School was legit.
I just remember the frequent flyer and beyond.
Yeah, so that's what you started doing rapid fire. We started calling you the frequent flyer of rapid fire, and then all of a sudden on the show full time. And I mean, dude, I wouldn't be where I am today without you. I mean, there's no way. The chemistry we had on the microphones just took just sarcasm and great content to a whole new level. And I appreciate everything you've done for me. And I just want you to know it has not fallen on deaf ears. All the advice you've given me, and I love you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's one thing a lot of people don't know about you, Old School, is or what you do, especially for us is in the younger generation, like brotherish with Greg Calvert, you know what I mean, or brother-like, but with me and Kyle, uncle type, you know what I'm saying?
Like great-grandfather.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
like
say great-great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, like the old clock that would just move back and forth. But yeah, man, you definitely helped us out in positions where we would be like, man, if we just had someone who'd been around this earth like for 100 years prior to us, and we could talk to it.
You got him.
Well, listen, like in the situations, even here in the workplace, I'm like, how do I address Randy Williams about this? And he's listening, and he knows I got love for him.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
And we've both been in these Old School. How do I talk to him about this?
Mhm.
What do I do?
Yeah.
And it's like that with my wife. It was like that obviously with Randy. So many other situations. How do I talk to the guy at Subway who didn't put the jalapenos on my sandwich like I asked?
Yeah. And it was always a great perspective that he would bring back because it would always be two routes. You got this way or you've got this way.
Right.
And you just try to mesh them together.
Did he ever mix up giving you advice how to talk to Randy when you were asking about your wife? I mean, I'm just wondering.
You're going to go in there and slap him on the butt. He looked at me really weird.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'll never forget the day Randy walked out of his office like he just saw a ghost. And like he was clenching a little bit.
I gave him a nice firm one.
We got to go to a break, y'all. We'll be right back.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show. Now, I don't know if Tiger can play Augusta and not play to win Augusta. Like, I don't know if he's wired that way. And, like, he doesn't have to prove himself anymore. And, you know, it's always, you kind of prove to yourself. Like, Tom Brady can't be the GOATer. He's the GOAT. Like, he can't be greater than what he is. He's already the GOAT.
Dan Patrick.
The Dan Patrick Show.
9 to 11 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Offered Tire and Service Center on Tyndall Parkway in Callaway is your authorized Goodyear and Michelin dealer.
Looking for ways to save at the pump? Ask about Offer's fuel induction service that can improve gas mileage and engine performance, cleaning any buildup that forms inside your engine parts at Offered Tire and Service Center. Their latest technology to clean up the entire system, not just the gas tank.
Offered Tire and Service Center on Tyndall Parkway in Callaway. Locally owned for the past 35 years and worth the drive from anywhere.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
Time to let the big dogs eat. Powered by Pepsi. WGSX Lynn Haven, Panama City. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves start their voyage to defend their title on Thursday the 7th as 2022 opening day takes over Truist Park against the Cincinnati Reds.
Got him swinging strike three.
And with Max Fried on the mound, Matt Olson at first, and the rest of your 2022 Atlanta Braves ready for battle, it's going to be an epic 2022 season. Be here for opening day and every pitch of the 2022 season
right here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
The last time he went to a club, the DJ was taking requests. So he gave him $10 and requested they played Turn Down the Volume. Old School is part of the Afternoon Underdogs. Live from the Rib Crib Radio Room.
Turn down for what?
ESPN Northwest Florida.
You're listening to the Afternoon Underdogs on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, and we are home of the defending World Series champions, the Atlanta Braves. We got a full season of Braves baseball. It's starting Thursday, April 7th. We'll get you out to the whole show for that one. 75 minutes of pregame. We don't want you to miss a thing. And the ring ceremony, actually, I didn't tell Kyle this, but he will be in Atlanta for, I don't know if he knows that or not, but that's when they're.
We talked about it.
That is pretty sweet that he'll be there. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Boston Tim just walked in the building with some gifts for Old School. Man. And some flowers? I love that, how he just slammed the flowers on the table. Here you go. Here's your present.
Let's be realistic, right?
Isn't that cute?
Old School might be retiring, but now his wife's got to go to work, all right? we got a card, some flowers, and a bottle of champagne for his wife because now she's got to tolerate him, and we get the freedom. You know what I'm saying? Hallelujah. Thank you, Mrs. Old School.
Yeah, thank you.
But this, of course, is a bottle of whiskey for yourself.
Yes.
It's a long drive, and you do have to stop for many, many breaks to enjoy your snacks.
Stop and have a swig. Stop and have a swig.
I imagine Mrs. Old School's driving. I wouldn't let you drive all the way to Georgia. Come out.
Stop and have a swig, son.
Yes.
That's not good.
Yeah, we didn't say he was driving.
Road sodies.
Mrs. Old School will follow him up there to make sure his car makes it, okay?
His car is going to be on the back of a
trailer,
U-Haul.
right?
Yeah, my car's on the back of the U-Haul.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
You just need to get a driver, and you just ride in the green goose.
Why don't you drive the U-Haul and I'll just ride next to you?
Yeah, you got business to handle in Georgia. Do you catch a flight back?
Yeah, but I can't do that. But thanks.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for the offer.
Thanks for the offer.
Two old men in a truck.
You don't know how. Yeah, two old men in a truck. Two old worthless guys in a truck.
That's it.
Ooh, an acronym for that would be great. DWAG.
That truck wouldn't make it out of the state of Florida.
Oh, man. What's going on? Boston Tim's in the building with us. We got Greg Calvert, Old School, Caveman Rick, Chef Ross. I'm David Hayes. Just before we, while we're still here in the first segment, and I want to give everybody their opportunity, 850-215-6290 is the number to call, or text if you'd like to say your goodbye to Old School. But if you guys got any stories or anything you'd like to say to Old School, the floor is open.
Yeah, I'll just make it sweet and simple and not corny or nothing.
Don't make it sweet. This is a sports talk radio
Listen,
show.
Old School's a good guy. Ever since I've been coming around here doing Fan Fridays and hanging out around here, it made me feel very welcome, made me feel like part of the group around here. Always got a wealth of knowledge, always, willing to talk about stuff, to argue about stuff, depending on whatever the idea is or the thought. So just real respectful, good dude. Wish him all the luck, all the best with all of his endeavors, future rest of his life. And we're going to miss him, man. So on all honesty, love you, brother, and hope everything goes well for you and your wife.
Well, thank you, K-Man. I remember meeting you. We were doing remotes, and you and your bride would come, and we would I remember one time I was out the day before working hard, and when I get to there, and I am exhausted. I mean, I am so tired. And I made a comment about, man, I could really use a cup of coffee. And all of a sudden, Caveman brings me a cup of coffee. And I was like, that is a good dude right there. That's a good dude right there. So, Caveman, it's been my pleasure to get to know you, plus Michelle.
Right.
And, one of the things that's tough about when you come to some place like, come to Panama City, you meet such great people. And I've had the privilege of meeting tremendous people. And you make friends. But, as life changes, I'm getting to an age where, I just want to do what's right for my wife, and for her, that's home, and that's where we're going. So it's tough to leave friends, but the best part is, it's only 5-6 hours away, and we like to visit. So we'll be back to Panama City to visit. So it'll be fun and give us a chance to catch up with people.
Yeah, and you'll be calling back in too.
That's exactly right.
That is a ton of snacks, though. 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot of snacks. Well, it's normally 5 to 6 hours. With us, it's about 7 or 8, maybe 10.
About to head down to Miami or something. All right, we got Coach Olds on the line. Coach Olds, go ahead.
Hey, Old School. I just want to say thank you for everything. It's been great listening to you on the radio in the afternoons. I wish you the best in Georgia, and hope I hear from you from time to time.
Well, thank you, Coach Olds. I mean, you're one of the most amazing people that I've met here. What you did for your kids is inspiring. It really makes me think about my life and what, the impact that I've had on people. And I hope that I have just a tenth, a
smidgen.
A pinch of the impact that you've had on people's life. I hope that I can somehow have that in mind. So thank you, Coach Olds. It's just super cool to get to know you. I appreciate you.
Thank you. It was great knowing you. I'm going to keep on staying in touch also.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Coach Olds, for the call. We'll talk to you later now.
See you.
Hey, Coach Olds, man, what you said. Wow. Talk about impact promotions.
Yeah.
This guy has had a huge impact on the community. Chef Ross, you want to say a few words to Old School?
I just remember sitting in here arguing about steroids in baseball for like an hour and a half.
It's a long segment.
Yeah, Chef Ross comes along and he just asks questions and my blood pressure just goes up. And so it's cool. Chef Ross plus your dad. It was just awesome to get to know you guys. I loved your dad. He was such a cool guy. The apple pie, fantastic.
Oh, that's what I forgot to bring.
And but still, it's cool to get to know people, and we're not staying away forever. As Randy said, we're not going to Europe. We're just going to Georgia. So we'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, and I've probably known you the shortest amount of time, Old School, but I can honestly say, in listening to all the other guys, and of course David, you're definitely an inspirational person. And if you worry whether or not you impact people's lives, I can honestly say that anytime any of us has probably been on the road with you, it has put us on another path in our life, and it's because of you. You're certainly in your stories in themselves, the emotion that you have in the stories and the memory, the uncanny memory you have of the games that you've been to or the experiences you have, the matches you've played or the people you've played matches with,
right.
Things like that, and how you are able to divulge those stories over the microphone to us and to everybody else is really, makes us as sports fans want to dive more into the love that we have for our for our teams, for our fandom. And I can honestly say that, you've definitely helped bring my life back into sports and my love for it to really be able to show through a lot more than it has for the last couple of decades where I've been focusing on business and other things. So I can definitely say that I really, really appreciate the short amount of time that I've had with you, and I can't wait to hear where you take your next path in life.
Well, thank you, Tim. And it's what we do. G-Man knows this. Dave knows this. Coming into somebody's living room or into somebody's car every day, talking about something that we care about. It's an unusual occupation. It's a weird way to.
It's a privilege.
But it's also just incredibly cool to get to do that. And so you get to meet. You came on as a fan Friday, right? And I'm like, man, this guy is awesome. This dude knows everything there is to know about sports. And just your ability to take.
We get it, Greg. You recruited him.
No, I was just saying. I remember the day he came on and became Boston Tim. He was Tim when he first came.
Well, he was Boston Tim when we first met him off air or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I was with you. I remember that day vividly.
Yeah. Right. They just call me Boston. They always have.
Yeah, and
you guys just added the Tim part.
we added.
I think it was Coach Hale more than anything with the Boston T, and it was just like that sticks, man.
But one of the things that I love about you is, for me, it's all I remember things here, right? I don't have the ability that you have to just go to this weird thing here and look stuff up,
right?
Neither do I.
when Greg goes and looks stuff, he's looking at the wrong thing.
The wrong year.
That's 7 years ago, Greg. What are you talking about?
So, for
We're
me,
talking about Thursday's game.
I love the fact that you are always into the details of, the record over the last 10 games and the shooting percentages and all the details. And for me, I'm like, that's a true sports fan. I'm just a guy that sits and watches TV.
Right.
So I appreciate what you've done for the show. For me, it's been my honor and privilege. And
coming from the guy who always, the statistics, the analytics. Have you ever watched the sports?
It just needed to be simplified for him.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I got Ryan Warren on line one. Go ahead, Ryan.
I cannot believe the conversation I just heard. Wow. How old school. How did you do it? How did you keep your composure?
My composure?
G-Man.
With G-Man.
It's
Gosh, that's going to be something I'm not looking forward to missing. Is y'all's two little spats.
We did. But, we had some great spats.
Some awesome ones. And I just want to say thank you personally for turning in. I turn into you. It's my truck dial every day on my ride home. Your knowledge and the way you don't sugarcoat things and your opinions and just whoever is gaining you, ESPN, they're gaining a lot more than we're losing. So I just want to say thank you from Northwest Florida. You've been a great asset to sports radio and sports in general in this area. And I know I speak for every fan of ESPN, Northwest Florida, when I say this. We all wish you the absolute best.
Well said.
Yeah, very well said. Appreciate that a lot, Ryan. I don't even know if Old School can respond, so we're going to go ahead and let you go, Ryan. Hey, thanks so much for the call. I knew that it was going to be coming to this point at some point in time. I was going to try my best to keep him from reading the card that we gave him, but I might just have to just let it go all the way today at 5:45. But we've got a lot of high school sports spotlights to get into. We're going to go ahead and let Old School recuperate a little bit. We're going to go ahead and take a break. AG, just do me a favor. Hang on the line. We'll get to you as soon as we get back. This song right here, this will forever be the memory of Old School. Let's let this roll for a little bit.
Yes.
Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. To the honeys getting money, playing, digging like dummies.
My forecast overnight, showers and thunderstorms, some locally severe, 65 for the low, and a south wind up to 40 miles per hour. The high surf advisory will continue into Thursday. Cloud showers and thunderstorms will continue, some locally severe, mid-70s on Thursday with those gusty winds, and then clearing Friday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Offord Tire and Service Center in Callaway. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mike Greenberg. Greeny. There's no event I love more than Sunday at the Masters. I have said this before, and I have been ridiculed for it, and I don't give a damn. If you told me I could only watch one day of sports the whole year, if you said, Greeny, we are taking your television away for 364 days, and you get to choose the one day you get to keep it, I would pick Sunday at the Masters.
Weekday afternoons from 2 till 4, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
At Slim Chickens, craft means something. Craft means bacon. And oh, so crispy. Craft means a good cayenne kick. And all-natural buttermilk marinated, made fresh, perfectly fried chicken. All served on toasted brioche buns. At Slim Chickens, craft means quality. And for a limited time, try our new Memphis-style barbecue chicken sandwich. Try Slim's Craft sandwiches today. Slim Chickens.
Do you have a home that you don't want anymore? We can buy it from you within 24 hours. Any home, size, or condition. For over 20 years, we've been buying homes for cash and helping homeowners sell their homes immediately with no listings or strangers walking through your home. Are you moving? Did you lose your job? Going through a divorce? Whatever the reason, if you're in a bind and you know that you need to sell your house fast, call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. We'll make you a serious cash offer to buy your home in 24 hours and let you walk away from it. No listing, no waiting. Sell any home, any size, any condition, now. Call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. Make this free call now.
800-431-9667. 800-431-9667. 800-431-9667. That's 800-431-9667.
He listens to Post Malone. He drives a Honda with ground effects and has Pennsylvania tattooed on his right tricep.
Looking at a bad man.
David Hayes is part of the Afternoon Underdogs, live from the Rib Crib Radio Room, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Back-to-back songs for old schools. This one's never coming out of the hotkeys. You'll have to fight me to get this thing out for the hotkeys. Vagabonds, The Hammer. This is a band that old school put us on to.
Yep.
And they went to Auburn, right?
Yeah.
Or the lead singer or something?
No, they all formed. The band formed while they were at Auburn. And,
wow.
They're all now living in Nashville and just put out a new album, by the way. Go get the new Vagabond album. It's fantastic.
And that's Vegabonds. This song that we were just playing, The Hammer. That's a fantastic song. They also have another one here that we use sometimes, but a great band, and that's just another one of the things that your awesomeness brings to the table.
Wasn't you used to always play the
Hammond B50? Oh, B3.
Hammond B3.
Hammond B3.
Yep.
The Air.
The air, yeah.
The air version of it. A couple of texts to read off here from Professor Plum. Old school, I will miss your in-depth analysis and measured delivery. And then Don, a lot of people, Buckeye Don, all right? I've called him Don Lieber so many times. Finally, when he came in to pick up his last product, he was like, it's Don Lieber. Not saying it mean. He was like, so many people get it wrong all the time, but it's Don Lieber. I was like, but he was like, just call me Buckeye Don. I was like, well, I got to get it right the next time. It's like me getting on here all the time and being like, Xavier. Like, well, Caveman had a great point yesterday. Spell it with a Z then if you want it to be called Xavier.
Exactly.
What in the world?
Exactly right.
But
Or
Don said...
Just educate yourself. That's the easiest way to do it.
No,
it always
that's right. The X is silent. My bad.
It always creates the potential for a mistake.
It does. Well, Don said, as an avid listener, old school will be missed. Love listening to all your stories and your knowledge. Good luck and God bless. We also have Adam Goff on the line. Adam, go ahead, brother.
Hey, old school and everybody, how are you? Old school, I do appreciate you, man, because without you, conversating with me on the radio that day, I probably would have never come in for Fan Cave Friday. You've always been very gracious, very genuine, and I know you put up with a lot of crap from me and these other guys, and you take it in stride because
I'm a Will Smith. You better watch out.
Because it comes from a place of love, and we appreciate you, and I appreciate you, and you're definitely going to be missed. And I'm sorry I couldn't be there today. Work kind of went a little long today.
Well, AG, I appreciate you, brother, and it's like I was saying earlier, it's just really a unique way of meeting people when you're on the radio, and it's a way that we all have the one thing in common, which it's what makes life interesting, is how people, so many different personalities, so many different ways that we make a living, so many different things, but the one thing that we have in common is that we enjoy sports. We enjoy competition. We enjoy the passion of sports. And you can take all of those mixtures, all those things that makes us all different, but we just have that one germ there of things, and it allows us to be close. It allows us to be like brothers. It allows us to be all these different things, and it's just really cool, and so I appreciate having the opportunity to get to know you, Adam, and you were always the first guy that when we needed help, you were here to jump on the board, do whatever we needed to do, you and Chef Ross and all the other guys. So we appreciate you, AG, and look forward to visiting with you sometime when I'm down back.
Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe we can go out and chase that little white ball around.
Oh, I like that idea.
Hey, Adam, how excited are you that the Braves are going to be unveiling our World Series rings against the Cincinnati Reds this weekend?
I'm super pumped. It's always great to watch everybody else sit there and celebrate their victories and do it at our expense. It's phenomenal. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
All right, AGA. We'll see you Friday, buddy.
All right, man.
I know what that's like. When I was in high school playing on the football team, it seemed like every week that we played on Friday night, it was somebody's homecoming.
Oh man, y'all were the homecoming
We were the
team.
homecoming team because they didn't have to worry about losing to us.
Boston Tim, we were talking about this earlier. What do you make of the Eric Church canceling his tournament? Oh, quick surprise.
Absolutely. Your minute with Max. All right. I mean, I'm with him, and somebody else said it. I can't recall who it was. I was listening on the radio on my way in, and they had mentioned, how it was Tobacco Road. Ian J. Malone. Phenomenal author. If you guys haven't checked out his books, please do. The Four Horsemen universe is an unbelievable place, and having joined it recently, reading his books has been pretty awesome. So hop in there and check out Ian. But he was very honest, upfront, open, and apologetic. He's returning all the money. You can get money returned for anything nowadays. Walmart will give you stuff back from Target.
Yeah, I'm about to go buy a ticket myself.
I mean, yeah, you get your rooms refunded. You can reschedule. It might be a timely thing for some people with work, but other than that, it is what it is. This is the first time in the history of March Madness that these guys have played against each other, and it happens to be the Final Four. I would be going to. No matter if it was my wedding, I'd be like, listen, I'm sorry. I love you, but we can get married another day. We can have kids another day. We can do everything else another day. These guys won't play for the first time in history ever again. This is the one and only time.
100% right, man. That's and I wanted to get back to that instead of me reading off your text earlier.
And whether or not you're a fair weather fan because you're not an alumni does not matter. If you love the team that you love, you're just a fan. That's just what it is. Just because he's not an alumni from there doesn't mean he doesn't have the same amount of love in his heart for that team that anybody else does, somebody that played there, somebody that was there. It is what it is. If you love that team, you love that team, and you know that as a
100%.
fan of Alabama.
Yeah.
Everybody here outside of old school understands that.
He is the captain of Fairweather fans. So one more time, let's revisit who old school's new NFL team is going to be.
Yeah, I made a decision a few years ago to move away from the Atlanta Falcons out of frustration after what they did to us and ripped my heart out there.
Who did?
Your guy, your guy, Tom Brady.
I thought that was your guy.
That's your guy.
Used to be.
Now he's my guy.
We use that term a lot with old school.
Now he's my guy.
So your guy beat your team.
Yeah. My new guy beat my old team. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to go back to my old team, and we're coming after the new guy.
I hate you, but I love you.
He got divorced and then he remarried the same chick.
He's like, they admitted to their mistakes and they brought in Marcus Mariota.
No, that's not it. But the whole thing is they did admit that they really screwed things up, and I'm moving back to Atlanta, and I just can't see living in the Atlanta area and not being a Falcons fan. So I have to do that. So
Big Max,
what better way to show the kind of fan that I am that I will take you back?
Forgiveness is the key, right? It absolutely is.
That's how you're married for 3 times.
Wow. Max, what's going on? Welcome into the Rip Grip Radio room.
I just came to say goodbye to old school.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say, on your guys' bandwagon conversation, you could have joined the Bears. It's not a bandwagon at all.
Yeah, you would seem like
a roller skate.
We could bond over a team for once.
You really have to hate everything that's happened in your career as a fan for you to have to hop over to be a Bears fan. No offense or anything.
But you got to be a real true fan to be sticking with them all the way down here in Panama City, even though you're from Chicago.
I disagree with that. If you are a fan from the beginning, you stay a fan forever.
Okay. I know he's a closet Hoosier.
I love it.
I hope Greg can. Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh, the excitement.
I love it. I love that, man.
I have one word for you. Irrelevant.
Oh, man.
I know what our next segment.
man.
I already know what our next segment's gonna be about as soon as.
This is the anniversary of when IU beat Syracuse.
This is the IU anniversary today. Good stuff.
Good times.
Yeah. So
Max was saving that one.
So you got an old school story or anything you want to share with us, or you just want to say bye?
The only good old
riddance
school story I can have is we always talk about how bad he is on his phone. I remember going out to swing by the studio, and he was driving right behind me, and I texted him, "Look up," and he was like on his phone and didn't look up at me, and I was like, "This guy." So I called him, and he goes, "Hey man, what's going on?" And I was like, "Look at the car in front of you. I'm right here," and just like waved out the window, and he's like, "Oh, cool." I was like, "Yeah, I texted you."
2 weeks later, he got that message.
Could you imagine though being in the car in front of him or whatever, and then all of a sudden, Old School's just looking at the roof of his car?
I was like texting. I was like looking at Vicky. I was like, I guess he's just blowing us up. He's too cool for us.
And then you guys got Bailey, and then that changed everything.
We were only friends in the studio. Outside, there was some rift, I guess.
Can I tell the funny part about that?
Absolutely.
I freely admit that I am not good with using the device. I don't do well texting. I don't do well. But the interesting part is, in my previous career, I worked for Nokia mobile phones.
Oh, no way.
You remember them?
And
that's why they were made so indestructible.
I just picture his phone opening and going, "Hello, Moto."
And this is back at the end of the beginning of, I don't know what it is, in 97, 98, 99.
Pull the antenna out.
Yeah, it was the little
yellow
bitty,
brick.
the little bitty one, the first digital phone.
Mm-hmm. Play
So
Snake on it.
Yeah, we were sitting in a meeting, and they came in and they said, "We have a new product that we're going to be launching, and it's called SMS." And we're like, "Well, so you're going to take your phone and you type it in, and you can send somebody a message." And I'm like, "That's the stupidest thing I have ever heard in my life."
You ever heard of a letter?
Like,
it only takes 3 days.
Can you not just like dial the phone? You're doing this, so you might as well just dial the phone and talk to them. Why would you want to do that? And I flat out told him that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And now the whole world revolves around
just replace
intentionally not talking to people.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Absolutely.
And then I found out that if you call somebody without texting them first and telling them that you're going to call them, that's rude.
It's like showing up to someone's house unannounced.
Yeah, I mean,
he's like that Larry David.
I didn't even know that was
commercial.
improper. I did that for so many years, I always show up at people's houses.
Who's going to listen to mobile music?
That's it. Me and Larry David were the same. We're the same.
That is a great story, man. Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, Steve Jobs was definitely looking in the opposite direction, wasn't he?
Yeah. There's just so many funny things that happen when, you think I went to school, I was educated, I was successful in business, and you think you know something, and then you realize later on that you're really just your dad. And, I laughed at my father because he couldn't figure out how to plug it, how to program a VCR. And it just, it was so stupid, but now with me, I can't. When I was with my daughter last, she was trying to show me how to FaceTime, and I'm like,
Well, it's an impossibility for you to FaceTime, though.
Why?
Because you don't have an iPhone. So she could have been teaching you and teaching you and teaching you, but nothing would have ever came of that. Y'all could Skype. Yeah, Facebook video. You could Skype. You could Zoom. There's a myriad of different ways.
So that's why it didn't work.
Yeah, no.
I'll try FaceTiming you next week.
Oh, man. You're just providing content this morning.
I'm just old. I'm just old.
What else you have?
I got to go back to counting beans.
Okay.
Old School is the most quality person around, so I'm going to miss him a lot.
No doubt, man. Max, thanks so much for joining. Because I don't know if anybody saw this today, but the Cardinals, and I know it's just preseason baseball, the Cardinals put up, this was in the bottom of the 8th, so maybe they even tacked on more in the top of the 9th. They put up 28 runs today. And there's another, I'm sure you're going to go straight to another spring training game. That's fine by me. But how about the Cardinals?
That's great.
28 runs.
I didn't even notice
in a spring training game.
Was Pujols a part of any of it? Is he back?
I didn't look at the box score. The box score. Well, I just kind of looked at the top because you know how those spring training box scores get. They get a little long for good reason. But I did see Goldschmidt was 4 for 4 with 3 runs scored and only 1 RBI. So that means that he's just singling or doubling, and then the rest of his team is knocking him in. Which, guys, I know it's spring training, but hey, it's baseball. The other one that I figured Boston Tim would be going straight to was not the shellacking, but the Red Sox got the better of the Braves today.
It was a decent game. It wasn't a shellacking.
It was like a football score, like
nice.
SEC circa 2003. 10-6, 10-7.
10-7, I think it finished out as. Yeah. I had a buddy, Justin Carr, is a big Braves fan, text me. He's like, "Why do you guys do this to us? Stop it." It's like, no.
It's preseason. It's spring training.
Yeah, it doesn't
matter.
Count.
This is our year. You really think so?
Get ready to put a ring on it.
All right, we'll see, man. We just got done with that whole experience, so we'll be. Dude, old school, you should go to the game Saturday because they're giving out the little replica rings, and if you don't go, then Kyle should give his to you.
Oh, he should.
Yeah.
You're making it sound like tickets might be easy to get. They might actually not be, or might be kind of pricey.
Yeah, you just walk around the Battery for a little bit, get scammed, no big deal.
Yeah, I'll be the one guy that picks the wrong guy to buy a ticket from.
You might bring tickets into a Reds home game or something.
Well, you have to know how to work.
Inside story about that. Maybe we'll dig into that in the next segment.
Just don't buy them online, old school.
Oh boy! All right, everybody, try to shoot old school a FaceTime real quick. 850-215-6290. We'll be right back.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive home for the Final Four. Catch all the excitement of college basketball's premier event right here.
And the dream is alive!
Final Four coverage begins Saturday at 3:30. Sponsored by Bill Bird Kia, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Ellis Agency Insurance, Panama City Toyota, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Barbaritos has been committed to serving farm fresh food since 2000. Barbaritos food is made with love, straight from the heart. Every morning they begin preparing food from scratch, from chopping fresh tomatoes for sauces to mashing fresh avocados for guacamole. Barbaritos cares about food.
For a limited time between the hours of 6 and 9 p.m., you'll get a free small creamy cheese dip with the purchase of an entree and a drink.
That's Barbaritos on 23rd Street near Hobby Lobby.
Barbaritos. We make it fresh. You make it yours.
Hi, I'm Bobby Likas with today's Car Clinic Minute. Now for this week's episode of The Service Station Dilemma. When you fill your car up with gas, should you pump 92 octane or 87? When we come back, it's a game of automotive high or low.
The Car Clinic Minute.
It's Bobby Likas Car Clinic, brought to you locally by Hewitt Tire and Auto.
Call 850-769-7323.
Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing.
Visit them online at HewittTire.com.
On Airport Road in Panama City.
That's 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
More is always better, right? Not at the pump. Though some cars are designed with high compression engines that require high 90-plus octane fuel, other engines operate at a much lower pressure and temperature. These low compression engines can't produce the internal heat necessary to burn high octane gas. Result: unburned fuel that causes performance problems and pollution and waste your cash. So next time you're gassing, don't guess. Before you spend your hard-earned money, check the owner's manual for the octane just right for your car. I'm Bobby Likas. Like us, you'll love us.
The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. It's double the Paul Feinbaum Show. Weeknights starting at 6.
Okay, but also go faster.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. Live from the Rib Crib Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are live. And I'm going to do something that I haven't done before, but it's because I know who the caller is. Thanks for the clapping, Greg. Kyle, Wright State Chris, you are on the line. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, wow, that was quick.
Yes, sir. I'm getting good at this.
Yeah. Hey, old school, man. I just want to say thank you. It was a pleasure listening to you. You always brought a history to stuff that, me being almost 40, that, there's a lot of...
You're not almost 40, Chris.
I'm just turned 37. But,
wow. I would have never guessed that, man.
But, just the fact that you have the history to not just, the sports that you like, but just, a little bit of everything. I remember we were talking about the different announcers, and you could talk about Hank Schramm and Jack Buck and Keith Jackson back in the day, just all the knowledge and, information we really appreciate, for nerds like me out there that like the history of the sport and everything. So I remember I started listening with Leanne and co-host number 1 and, then co-host number 2, and then, eventually got to co-host number 20. And, finally it stuck with you guys, and, I really appreciated that. It was you, Dave Dave and I that got to talk to Jim Kelly before Cincinnati played Notre Dame. That was really special to me and my family. So I just want to thank you guys, and thank you, Old School. I still owe you that beer, and sorry I haven't taken you out yet. So
that's all right. We can still. I'll be back, and we can get it when I get back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But hey, I just want to say, love you guys. Old School. Best of luck. Be safe out there. All right, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Chris. It's awesome, and I will be back, and we will get that beer.
That Jim Kelly moment, anytime that we have an opportunity here on air, especially if we have someone coming in for Fan Friday, and we can do something that is special and pointed towards the guest, we try to do it. It's hard sometimes because when you're reaching out for other people, you're reaching out to other people, you're having to get the schedules on point, and sometimes in the time slot that we're in, those guys are already getting off work, and they're like, hey, sorry, let's try earlier in the day. So
phones are going crazy.
Yeah, they are.
While you're answering all your fans are getting out of rehab now.
It's like a telethon. We donate some money.
And we talk about sports, and on the Show Builders chat, I mentioned this thing about sports, and it's something that I've always said, and I think it really relates to all of us here, and the fact that we're all fans of different teams, yet we all get along so well. And it's like, I've said it many times before that sports is literally one of the most effective and consistently life-changing events in mankind.
Mm-hmm.
They can create hatred, love, and respect all at the same time. They can create an open conversation, free speech, acceptance, or denial. It's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Sports is not only one that can change lives, but sometimes it can really change cultures. And instead, it's almost it transcends an accurate description of the true effectiveness that sports has, not only on cultures, peoples, but their lives and individuals. And it shows right here with a bunch of guys that could, in any other time frame, really dislike each other because of I'm a fan of this team, you're a fan of this team, you grew up this way, I grew up that way.
Especially when it comes to
sports,
the trio we.
It really brings people together, and it brought us together and had these moments and these memories that we all have, and that's all because of sports. And so I'm grateful for sports as I am for Old School. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's cool.
No doubt.
It's true. I'm gonna. Boston T brought in a card here, and I'm going to try to read it.
I don't have the best handwriting.
I'm going to try to read this.
That has nothing to do with why he's going to try to read it.
It says, life is full of many adventures, and within those adventures, you have your daily side guest. What an honor it has been to spend the last year being part of your side guest.
Side quest,
sorry. You're an inspiration to many. I hope you stop for many, many snacks on your next adventure. Please tell Mrs. Werner that we appreciate the time she's allowed us with you, for it shaped our lives forever. That's very nice.
Very welcome.
Hey, we love you, Old School,
and it certainly
man.
did, man. It certainly did.
I mean,
there's definitely a small part of me that's a better person because of you, and I'm grateful for it.
There's no doubt that that's everyone in this building. Just look at the conversations that were happening this morning with Kat and with Kathy, and Kathy like interrogating you like a police detective about what your next couple of steps are.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And it's all just because people care. And why do people care? Because you cared first. And what does that point to? You treat people the way you want to be treated, and you are an example of that. And you'll always be remembered and appreciated. I mean, status quo is your picture, your laundry picture is going to be up here somewhere in here as the laundry person. One day I'm going to come in here wrinkled as all get out and be like, man, I just wish Old School was here. Except for you were never my laundry person. We were just sidekicks.
I was going to say, you always look pretty fit to a T with your laundry, man. So.
Well, he has a little bit of self-worth.
Whoa!
Whereas, Kyle could he would just show up looking like anything because he didn't care what it looked like.
Jack Patterson chimes in, going to miss you, Old School, and thoughts and prayers with Old School in the move, but also thoughts and prayers with Jack Patterson and also wrestling against cancer.
Absolutely.
If I can take a second here, it's going to take me a second to pull it up, but and we've got another text. In fact, here, let me read that up while I'm bringing this up. And this is from a number. I don't know who it is, but it's been a pleasure working with Old School the last 2 years. The most vibrant. This is from Bone Crusher. The most vibrant 105-year-old I've ever.
You're only 105?
Yeah. I have socks that are 105.
Oh, my goodness. Let me see if I can find it.
Awesome.
I don't know.
Thank you, Bosie.
Well, okay, so it's something that I need to go back and find out. I guess I deleted it out of my photos, but what Kendall Susie has been dealing with, and just the strength and fortitude that she's had to push on. And you look at what Jack Patterson is doing, putting these events together, and it's like, dude, you need to focus on yourself. And no, that's not his response. You know, his response. No, we're gonna get this done.
He's an incredible guy. I mean,
just listen to all these people who have called in today bragging on you. Look at the magnitude of the things that those people do. I'm pretty sure Ryan Warren is a pretty big piece of this community. Coach Olds, Professor Plum, what he does, he's a teacher. Boston Tim, saving people's lives in a sense last weekend. Caveman Rick, coming, you know, he's one of the guys who comes in all the time. Chef Ross, how many times has he fed us?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, the impact that you've had on people. In a sense, this is unlike shows that I do. I don't like doing show, and I'm not talking about the emotion. No, that's not what I'm saying. I love it being sports geared to the T. But today it was like, you know what? I'll do a little bit of preparation, but we're just going to roll with the punches. And whichever direction we go, that's the way that we're going to go. And it's been fantastic. I appreciate all the call. I know Old School does it. Even if he can't get through the call with you, he sincerely appreciates it. And this is going to, I mean, what a send-off this is. This is very similar to the last day that we had with Greg Calvert, except for he comes back every day.
Kind of like Tom Brady. He quits and then comes back.
Yeah.
But I love it, man.
I wish I made his money.
Earlier I said that this is a privilege, and I mean that to a T, to be in the position that I'm in, regardless of even being able to talk about it. But the fact that I can put together a show sheet or put things on the radio that have to do with a huge passion that's been a passion since I was 3 years old, it's just a privilege. Well, even more so in a sense, I think getting to know you and working with you has been a privilege beyond that, because I can't say that I would have continued in this route had we not had conversations, had we not had the talks of you can do it this way, you could do it your way, you could do it this way, but it's all on you. And that's been one of the biggest things is there's never, like, there's always a right and a wrong way, but there's always two different paths. When you make that choice, you're going one way or the other. So you best take your time and really think through things and try to make the best decision that you can every single time. And we've been knowing about this for you leaving now since early September, if not earlier than that. And it was one of those things, other things would fall through, and I'm so thankful that it did. It got us through. Like, we got to have football season, one more football season. Now, it does suck that we have baseball season coming up, and that was our bread and butter, man. When you talk about it, like Tim, mine and Tim's bread and butter, I would say, is NBA and college basketball. We can go in any direction, right? But when it comes to our bread and butter, it's there. With everybody, I've got like different lanes that just our chemistry just peaks with those certain sports or whatever. Well, when it comes to baseball, I love Sam Peebles to death, but give me someone I can argue with, because I can't argue with Sam. I'm wrong every single daggum time.
It's hard to be right against
and he can
Sam.
prove it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's not just his opinion. He can prove it.
Mm-hmm.
The truth about that too is, I have to funnel some of this back to David.
Oh, yeah.
The way you're talking about your baseball, basketball, who you funnel things with, you know it all, man.
Yeah.
And the way you bring us all together and brought us all into the family, bring us all in as a family.
Yeah.
And kudos to you, because who could ever got two old guys to work together like we did, or young egomaniacs like Kyle Wright and and Old School. Come on. You bring it all together, and that's I'm not taking anything away from Old School, 'cause I know it's his last day, but you make it even more fun, Dave.
And I really do appreciate that, because I'm just not a big spotlight person. I would be a lot better at this job, honestly, if I was a spotlight person, like bring it on. But I don't like that. Teamwork makes the dream work for me, and we've had some really good teamwork here since I've been here. It's always been, no matter what it was. When you first started coming in, I'm like, why are we bringing a sales guy in to do the show with us? Now all of a sudden it's like that sales guy is always out, always promoting, always doing these things, and then what we're having on the show, and then when Boston Sim was a side that we already knew what we were getting when we were bringing in Boston Sim, but it's like one of those things that just with every different group that we've had, Leanne, I mean, just being able to produce for her, it's a tribute to this community in a sense. Because without the callers, without the listeners, I mean, the times that the phone, like today, when the phones just blow up, it's exciting. When it gets to that point, and you can it's like you don't even have to write the show. You just start talking, and then the listeners do the show for you. And I love, not Paul Feinbaum sense, but asking the questions and getting our opinions and stuff. And I just absolutely love that. We're running out of time for this segment. Life is a highway. We'll be right back.
My forecast overnight, showers and thunderstorms, some locally severe, 65 for the low, and a south wind up to 40 miles per hour. The high supervisory will continue into Thursday. Cloud showers and thunderstorms will continue, some locally severe, mid-70s on Thursday with those gusty winds. And then clearing Friday. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Paul Feinbaum Show.
The top sports radio show in the country. I didn't say in the South. I said in the country. They need to give on out for the sports talk show. You know you'd win it. You need to really be entertaining. You need to be more upbeat.
More animated, more energetic, right?
Exactly. You're picking up on it now. Love it. You got it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
I think we can save this show.
Weekday evening 6 to 10, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here at Panama City Toyota, we love things that last. Of course, it starts with beautiful, reliable Toyota cars and trucks. It continues with every customer relationship, across generations and hundreds of thousands of miles. And now, we're proud to offer something you can count on year after year after year. A free lifetime warranty that covers your drivetrain and powertrain. If you shop with us, we'll be here for you. Because peace of mind should last throughout your entire journey.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right, he has over 30 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within 2 business days, so don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset your diamond into new settings and even custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 45 years.
It's the cooling season, and time to call Steverson Air Conditioning for your preventative maintenance to keep your air conditioning system operating at full capacity. Steverson Air Conditioning has preventative maintenance programs, and they service all makes and models. Steverson Air Conditioning offers air duct cleaning. Steverson Air Conditioning has after-hours service and free estimates on a system change-out or duct cleaning. Call them at 248-1109.
Broadcasting from the Rib Crib Radio Room. You're riding shotgun with the Afternoon Underdogs. We're going to need some gas money. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Fill her up, please.
At 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back into the Rib Crib Radio Room. You are listening to the last segment, if you can hear it, of the Afternoon Underdogs. We're your home for college basketball. We've got the NIT Championship coming up. Texas A&M walloped Washington State last night. Was it Bonaventure or Xavier who came out on top last night? I cannot remember off the top of my head. Either way, they will be taking each other on in the championship game tomorrow night at 5:45. Also, Seton Hall has hired Rasheed Holloway, who is the coach of the improbable run that the St. Peter's Peacocks just had here in the NCAA tournament. Now I'm going to flip it over to Old School, man. You said you had something, right?
Yeah, I do. You know, it's a fitting. I want to tell a story.
Oh, boy. We've only got 7 minutes.
Yeah. I've listened to a few of these in my lifetime.
Even in the last segment, we're giving you a hard time. That's how much we love you,
That's
man.
all right. That's all right. A long time ago, I was when I was young, I really got addicted with golf.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go out and I played every day. I mean, every day. Where we lived, there was a little country club there called Texaco Country Club, and they gave
They have good gas there.
I don't know, but they gave every pastor in town a family membership, so it allowed me to go play every day at no cost. So I was out there morning, noon, and night, hitting balls, playing. It was fantastic. I came home from one day. I was I was a senior in high school, and I had played in a high school tournament, and I think I had won it. I come home, my mom says, "How did you play today?" And I started going off, man, on number one. I ripped it right down the middle. I had about 180 in, and this, and she stopped. She said, "Just stop." And I go, "Yeah." She said, I don't need all the details. Just, did you play well?" I said, "Yeah, Mom, I played well." She said, "The way that you remember things, the way that you remember every shot, every play, and every game, yeah, son, you need to be a sports guy."
Mm-hmm.
And well, Mom, I did it.
Yes, she did.
She knew.
Yes, she did.
You know, and that's what we talk about here. Is the memory that you have really tells the story of the event, because anybody can go online and look up the Texas Rangers game where Nolan Ryan threw a perfect game, but can anybody be like, I could tell from the noise when that ball hit that man's glove that he threw it 107 miles an hour that day. 107 miles an hour. You can't talk about that. You can feel that, right? And you can feel it and also verbalize it.
Yeah.
And that is what makes you a sportscaster.
I have to tell you, though, I felt like your mother many times. Like, enough.
That's enough of the story. That's enough of the story.
Thank you, G-Man, for that. Oh, man.
Like, Dad, go back to Abilene Christian. Get that 3-foot ruler and whoop him. I'm sick of this story. I can't
But,
take it.
these guys in the room here, Leanne, David, Boston Tim, G-Man, everybody, in the years that I've been in Panama City, it's been tough. I lost my mom. I lost my dad.
Yeah.
So life, those things happen. But you guys were there to, kind of support me. I mean, what you guys did for my dad, when I was there visiting him, and he and I got to sit and listen. And y'all called him older school.
Older school, baby.
Antiquated school or something. I forget.
So it was like 1672.
Yeah,
Stephen F. Austin, the oldest school, oldest high school in Texas. All of Texas.
I don't remember the story, but your brother was with your dad one day, and he listened to you and I on the radio.
And he said, he called me and said, "Hey, tell G-Man he's wrong." But
like he hasn't heard that before.
those moments of getting to sit there with my dad and to hear y'all talk about him on the radio, it's special. and this has been special for me.
Yeah.
I came here after a really disastrous business venture that I tried to do. I met Randy when I was over there, who owns the station, and Randy said, "Hey, come to Panama City." And fortunately, Mrs. Old School loves Panama City. We came here all the time on vacation. So we came over here really not knowing what we were going to do. I tried to sell some radio advertising, and I did a little bit. I wasn't good like G-Man is at selling.
Yeah.
He forces people to buy.
But just getting to be a part of, be a part of a team.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. Dave has been such a cool guy to be around. He's always been helpful. I think I met Dave one time, and then I called him the very next day and said, "Hey, can you come help me move this furniture?" And he did. He didn't know me. I asked him to. I was trying to move into this little house, and I
knew you for a while by that time.
It wasn't very long.
We probably weren't as close, maybe.
No, we weren't.
But
it's really fun and amazing that you can just come in and do what you love, which is talk sports. And you build these relationships that are lifelong. G-Man, you, all these people that have called in. It's a very special thing that I got to do, and I want to thank Randy. I want to thank people in Panama City. It's been so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a blast, and I'm looking forward to the next adventure. And Pam, we're going home.
Yeah. Hopefully it's home spot number 1, and then home spot number 2 is Old Texas, boy. Be with them grandbabies.
You never know where it'll lead.
Just don't let her hear that.
I think the guy that he met at McDonald's that he had a conversation with just said, "Thanks, Old School," and that's how you got your name.
Yeah, I got my name. I first came to Panama City, and I was out, and I was at the McDonald's, on Thomas Drive, and there was a guy there who was having marital problems, and so I was trying to help him, and so I had a couple of, I guess, words of wisdom, and then he called his girl back, and they worked it out, and as he walked out, he said, "Hey, thanks a lot, old school."
Yeah.
And then that's where the name came from.
That is it, man.
I'm loving it.
Oh, I don't know how the harmonization sounded in the radio, but it felt good, and that's all that matters. It felt as good as harmonizing Will Smith's face with Will Smith's hand with Chris Rock's face. All right, so we're out for the day. Coach James Hale will be live at 7 in the morning. The Afternoon Underdogs will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Old School, we love you to death, and it will not be the last time that you are on these airwaves.
Deuces.
Oh, my gosh, yes.